Wake up with the sunshine glow. Besties chat in stereo. Life is wild.
Hello.
Good morning.
How we doing today?
Super thankful.
Super thankful?
It's Thanksgiving week. Time to be thankful for everything, right?
Exactly. Welcome to
Socially Unsocial. I'm Patty.
I'm Danielle.
And we're your hosts.
This is a Thanksgiving edition. Gobble, gobble.
I love that. Gobble. Yes.
In all my work emails this last week, I was like, guys, we got to figure this out. I wanted to wrap everything up because before everyone gets turkey brain. And everyone's like, what? And then my client texts me. She goes, turkey brain. I love it. She's like, you're such a dork and I love you.
Yeah, that's like coined that phrase. That's amazing.
Because really everyone checks out. Even
Yep.
if you have to work Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, like no one's paying attention. No one's doing anything.
No, and a lot of the schools are off. I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah. Well, they are blaming the kids and how they're not learning anything on COVID, but I swear to God, they're off like an average of 3 times every month.
We started in my district all of a sudden early release days. So there's 4 this year. They just creep up on us. I never know when they're coming. And then the bus drivers will just randomly be like, oh, tomorrow such and such. And I'm like, and then I get the emails and stuff, the reminders. I'm like, why early release? I don't know what's going on.
The teachers need to have another meeting about what?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But literally, I have gone to the school. Teachers deserve a raise. Like the amount of energy that is like just in the rooms of these kids. I'm like, I could never. I go for my like hour and a half long party for the rooms or for mystery reader or whatever it is. I'm done. Like I tap out. I like go home. I need a nap. I need like my evening needs to start immediately when I get home because I'm just done. These kids, man, they are like.
And so back in like junior high, there was a lot of teachers that were teachers that didn't have kids. And I was like, that's strange, right? Like why you don't obviously maybe you chose, maybe you didn't not to have kids, but then you're choosing to be around other people's kids. But now it makes sense because I can't imagine being a teacher and dealing with other people's kids all day long and then coming home to my own children.
No.
Like you'd never get a break.
No, you're done by that point. It's got to be so hard. The principal of my son's school, whom I loved, and she just left last year, but she didn't have kids. And I remember thinking the same thing, being like, she doesn't have kids. But I'm like, you know what? She has too many kids at the kids already.
Well, on top of it, now you have these crazy kids and then you have their crazy parents to deal with. Yeah. And most teachers that I know that I'm friends with say it's not even the kids, it's the parents that are the worst part of the whole situation.
Right, because the kids are so sweet. Like they got into their career because they love teaching and they love kids and they can connect and all that. But it's the adults that are the problem.
Yeah, my motivation for being a teacher would not be the children. It'd be to have summers off.
Well, thank God you're not a teacher.
Something we're thankful for.
You are good though. Like I'll never forget. My kids are obsessed with that one trip, and you were our camp counselor. You and Jay were the camp counselors, and then me and the other parents were like, "Whew, thank God she's here," because you were doing games, and the rest of us are tapped out by the weekend. We're done.
We like to do that. That's our part because we don't have kids. So when we are around the kids, we like to step up and give the parents a little bit of a break. So we'll go hard for 24 to 48 hours. And then after that, don't ask us for much.
But that is so nice.
Yeah. I don't know how you guys do it. Like I'm tapped out after that, but maybe because I go so hard, but no way.
Yeah, it's like parents have learned we need to pace ourselves. This is a marathon, not a sprint. We get to bedtime, we've crossed the finish line, or you think you have, and then like they wake up 10 minutes later, they're like, Mom, we need more water. Mom, we have to go to the bathroom. I'm like, I thought I was there. I thought we were done for the day. Nope.
I know. I used to also think like when people are like, oh, my kid's bedtime is like 7:30, 8 o'clock. I'm like, man, to me, that's so early, right? But I'm like, if I had kids, no, I'd be on board with that because I need to get shit done or I just want to relax. I don't want to chase after you. Mm-hmm. So it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
I'd rather deal with them at 5 a.m. than at 10 o'clock at night when I'm just done.
I know, because it's exhausting.
It is. So God bless all you parents out there, all you mothers, all you working mothers with children. So I'm very thankful for you.
Yes, absolutely. And all the teachers that give us a break in the day. Please, no more early releases. Keep them.
Exactly. Oh, Lord.
At the beginning of the school year, there was a lot of memes going around that's, hey, teachers, tag, you're it.
Well, it's so funny because on like Facebook, you see parents are so excited when the summer starts, like, oh, yay. And then like a couple weeks in, they're like, all right, I'm done. I'm back. They need to go back. Summer camp. They've already eaten through me through the whole house and home. And
I know.
one more activity, I'm going to blow my brains out.
I mean, summertimes are, if the weather's nice, all you have to do is sit outside, throw a blanket down, bring out the snacks, and they will keep themselves occupied. We were talking the other day about like sprinklers and stuff. My kids, if I let them touch the hose, they get so excited because now there's a whole river through our backyard. My husband probably doesn't like it now that I think about it. But like the driveway all of a sudden becomes their playground. Like they just are so creative when you let them be. And it's almost like when you try to do all the camps and all the things, that's when it gets very exhausting.
Yeah.
So you have to find a balance.
Your kids don't have wars though with the hose and take the hose and try to spray you or spray the other kids.
Mhm.
Okay. I was like, is that
Of
just all of a sudden I turn around and someone's getting pegged in the face with the water?
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely.
Okay.
But that's like the fun of it. As long as it's not cold out, if it's warm out.
Yeah, but it's all fun and games when you have the hose and you're the one squirting, and then oh my God, what did you expect?
I know. Stay out of the spray zone.
He squirted me in the face.
Yeah, no thanks. Here we are, like it snowed the other day, and we're talking about summer.
I know.
We're like trying to manifest it.
We're repressing.
How were you doing the day that it snowed?
So it was funny because I was like, the day before, I was like, oh, I have so much to do, but I was supposed to be in court in
That's
downtown City. So I was like, okay, I'm not leaving the house until I have to go down there because I'm going to be able to deal with enough of idiots. But then Thursday, I was like, maybe no one's outside today because it snowed, so I won't be dealing with a lot of idiots. So I went to go run my errands. Rib roast was on sale at Jewel, so I needed that for Thanksgiving. And then I need to grab some stuff for my goodie bags at Target. So I did a lot of traveling that day. And lo and behold, everyone was on the road.
Oh, bummer. You came across every idiot under the sun.
But it was supposed to be a light snow. I think we got 3 inches.
My son said that their teachers told them it was about to be 3 inches. So I was prepared. I was excited. I thought it was great. I don't like driving in it. And when I got out of my neighborhood, I was already like sliding. I was like, oh my, here we are. Here we are. So it begins.
And they're saying it's supposed to be a very cold and snowy winter. Everyone just mentally prepare yourself.
I love it as long as I don't need to drive in it. I don't like driving in it.
Yeah. I don't mind driving in it as long as the other people on the road understand that they need to like either drive. If you're too afraid to drive in it, don't go out in it.
I know. Tell my boss that. Okay. So last year, I'm already thinking about getting stuck. One time last year, got stuck in my driveway. I'm pulling out of my driveway and I don't know how it happened. The next thing you know, I'm like just off the side, just enough, just in the snow, just enough. And I like couldn't even open my car door.
Are you one of those people that don't shovel? You're just like, oh, I can make it through it.
No, I mean, it was shoveled, but it just kind of took me off on a little curve. My wheel just enough slid and then I couldn't stop it. And this is the sweetest stories, talking about being thankful for things. So I got out, I tried to get my shovel. My husband, he was working nights, so then he was home, but he was asleep, and I didn't want to interrupt him. So I'm like, I can totally do this. Like, where are my gloves? Where's that shovel? Let's go. Well, then I'm like calling my brother-in-law because I needed help. Then he's like, I'll be right there. And then a second later, my neighbor starts walking down their long driveway all the way over with a shovel. And so then I was like, oh, my brother-in-law's coming. He's like, don't worry, we can do this. You get in the car. I'm going to shovel it. Don't worry. Tell your brother-in-law not to come. And I'm like, are you sure? And sure enough, he like got me out. I made it to work literally right on time for the whole day. I just like goosebumps, couldn't believe how nice of a neighbor I have. And of course, my husband was like, well, you should have woken me up. I wanted to just try to figure this out myself.
Independence.
Yeah, I mean, even though I say independence, but I was like texting my sister, is Jason around? Can my brother-in-law help? So like independent, but also not.
Right.
But it was the best day. And I just, sometimes all you need is one good person to remind you that it's okay. Because there are good people in the world.
Especially when it comes to shoveling, because that's the worst job in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about back pain.
Yeah.
You're destroying your body to help somebody, basically.
Totally. I went to Crumble Cookies and I got him and his family. I've never been to Crumble Cookies until that day, but I was like, what
Overrated.
else could I get? They're so good.
They're so overrated.
Okay, have you had the Fruity Pebbles one?
Oh my God, that sounds like cancer within cancer within cancer.
So good.
You
So good. So I went and I bought him one, and on the tag I said, I hope that when, because he has 3 daughters, I have 3 boys. So I said, I hope that when your daughters grow up and they have a place of their own, that they have a neighbor as
Aw.
kind as their father. Because the fact that he did that, he obviously saw me out my window.
Maybe he secretly stalks you. He's like, this is my opportunity to strike.
I haven't heard from him since, so I don't think that's the case. But I like the fact that he's doing something nice, and you're like, wait, there's motive behind why he came out, shoveled my car out of the ditch.
You're his backup plan in case something happens to his wife.
Man, I highly doubt that. I can't promote my podcast in my neighborhood now. At least not this episode. He's our neighborhood, not watch, the homeowners association,
like
the
president,
HOA guy.
president
Yes.
of the-
He's, yeah, we've already been like all emailing this morning about Christmas lights and whether or not our neighborhood's going to pitch in money to have it professionally done, or if we're going to just donate our time to go to the front of the neighborhood and put up cute lights or something. I vote just giving money, because as well as not being a great cook, I'm not a great decorator. What are my skills in life? I don't know.
We're going to dig deep on that on the next episode. On the way here, I was thinking things that I was thankful for. And that was one of the things. Thankful Jay's a fireman, because he gets up on the ladder and does our outside lights. Like, he bitches about it, and he's like, I do this for you because you want them. But he also loves it too. It's
How could
just
you not?
very magical.
Mm-hmm.
So every year he'll get up and do it. I'll hold the ladder. But I'm just grateful because there's so many people afraid of heights, and there are so many people that half-ass it.
Yeah.
So I feel like Christmas is a time where you can go all out because you have a month and a half to enjoy your labor.
Mm-hmm.
So we still haven't put it up. We try to wait for a really nice day, and our schedules haven't aligned. But yeah, I get super, super grateful that he will get up on that ladder because our house is so tall. So we need to get the whole peak. And
Yeah,
he's not
tough.
one of those people that will, if I say, oh, well, you don't have to do it, I'll pay someone to do it. I'm like, yeah, like hell, you're going to pay someone to do it. I'm going to do it. So thankful for that.
So back to Thanksgiving, you guys are hosting?
Yes, we're hosting. We host every Thanksgiving usually. It's a lot easier because we do the cooking. We've done it a few times where I've hosted at my sister's and then pretty much helped her with the cooking or did majority of the cooking.
Well, then you got to schlep it.
It's just, it's hard,
Yeah.
And then just, your kitchen, and I know I have all my pans and everything I need, my utensils, because it really makes or break a meal if you don't have the proper tools. I know you don't really understand that.
I'm like, listen, what tools are we talking about? Oven mitts to get the croissants out of the oven. That's as far as I go on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So it's like a technique. So if you guys don't have your turkey thawed out by now, get it out, get it thawed. And then to make a really good bird, you need to brine it. There's technique behind it. You want to brine it so you get a really juicy turkey. And then you also want to make sure it has time to dry so you get a nice crispy skin.
Oh.
Yeah. So, obviously this is years of doing it, and you kind of
How do you make it crispy?
You have to let this, after you brine it, you have to, because the brine is it's a salt water.
Okay.
And then you take it out of the brine, and then you have to pat it down and let it dry for almost a day in the refrigerator to get the skin very dry, because you don't want to cook it when it's wet, because then it steams and then becomes rubbery.
Okay, so it's not just hours. Now we're talking days.
Oh, it's days. Yeah, usually the prep for the turkey starts about 3 days before.
Wow. Every single person that is hosting, I'm thankful for you that you are doing the Lord's work for your family. That's a lot. Okay, so now we're brining, we're drying, we're patting.
We're patting, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then we're going to spatchcock it.
I like that you and Jay are so into hosting. You're like,
Yeah. Thankful for the internet and all the videos and Food Network, because if you spatchcock it, it cooks more even.
What is that? What are these words?
So you know what a turkey looks like, right?
Yeah.
So
I've seen them.
It's when you cut it almost in half, but you don't cut it in half. you cut the bottom so that it lays flat.
Yeah.
So-
Oh yeah, you spatchcock it. Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Everyone knows that. What? I was today years old when I first heard that term.
Now you're going to hear it everywhere. I'm like, I know what that means. Did you spatchcock your turkey? How did it come out?
No, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to show up on Thanksgiving Day and be like, wow, you spatchcocked that really well. And everyone's going to be like, who invited her and why is she talking about this?
Or
And
you're
no one's
gonna
going to know it.
Or you're going to be like, Mom, why didn't you spatchcock the turkey?
Yeah, and she's going to look at me and be like,
You ungrateful little...
seriously. But you could totally set me up for failure like that. Like I would have no idea. And I'd be like, I don't know. Danielle said this is what you do. This is what it's called. I'm blaming you.
We could do that. One day when you want to like make something, like I'll tell you what the ingredients to buy. I'll come over and cook it and show you how.
Last night, somebody posted that they had made chicken enchiladas. And I was like, I make chicken enchiladas. I know how to make that, lasagna, meatballs.
Lasagna
Meatloaf.
is hard to remember.
Yeah, it is.
Unless
Well,
you-
especially when I first got married and my mom had shown me that my grandma on my dad's side used to like had a recipe for ricotta cheese.
Oh,
So I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm making the ricotta cheese now, but I didn't realize that you can buy
Yeah.
it. So since then, now I buy it. Don't tell anybody.
most people
Buy it. Yeah, but I felt legit.
That's a
making it.
process. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
The
gotta
first
get-
time it was like a little too like salty, so I had to cut it back and do the whole thing. But either way, my grandma, so yeah, I never met her because she had passed before I was born, but she had 2 boys. So when I kept having boy after boy after boy, I just kept thinking about her. I'm like, okay, if she did this, I can do this. Like it's in my blood to be a boy mom. It's gonna be fine.
Well, that's good. And making cheese and ricotta is not easy. So I think you need to give yourself a little bit more credit for the things that you've actually tried to make.
True.
Yeah.
If it doesn't bring me joy, that's fine.
Yeah.
I've done it. Shall I do it again? Maybe.
But sometimes maybe the more you do it, the more joy you'll find in it. Because I feel like if you're happier doing things that you're good at, and you get
Wow.
very frustrated with things you're not good at, right?
Wow.
It's easier to quit.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So-
If it doesn't feel good doing it and you're not feeling successful and you don't see those results of like either a good home cooked meal or whatever it is that you're looking for, definitely easier to quit. And we've talked before about that instant gratification. We are the generation of it, like constantly being entertained and this and that. Everything's at your fingertips so quick. It's why I just order out.
Yeah. But it's also weird because the feeling of when I have to cook, when I'm cooking dinner and it's like, okay, I wasn't in the mood to cook today. Like my mind's elsewhere. I was busy at work and I'm just slapping things together just to put food in our mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can taste it. Like, oh, this was a very awful attempt. Like we're just eating for the calories and the nutrients.
Yeah, you're going to eat because otherwise you're going to pass out and die. Yeah. Well, that's how I feel a lot. I'm like, this isn't yummy. That's how I feel when I eat a salad. I'm like, I'm just doing it just because I know I have to. Oh, man.
Sometimes salads can be good, depending on what you're putting in it.
Yes, depending on the season. If it's summer, I like the strawberry raspberry vinaigrette with strawberries and feta and spinach and all that. That's good. The other day I had a Greek salad that was delicious. Caesar salad's always a win.
Yeah. Well, Caesar's like ranch. If you can really ruin a salad with bad ranch, and you can really ruin a Caesar with really bad Caesar.
I agree on that.
Yeah.
It's all in the details.
It is, especially with the salad.
And the croutons.
Yeah, so I like to smash my croutons.
Huh.
So that way they're like almost like little crumbs, so that it's easier. So you get a little crunch with every bite. You're not like going to town on it.
That's an amazing, yep, I like that too.
Try that next time.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know what you think. Jay thinks it's stupid, but not surprised.
But he thinks everything I do is stupid. So.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wait, speaking of amazing husbands, Mike, turns out in a wild turn of events, he listened to my podcast.
Oh, he did listen.
He listened last week. That's why the mushrooms happened. That's why he made them for me. He was so sweet. I saw mushrooms in the fridge, took a picture of it, and I meant to text Danielle and be like, like somehow, some way, Mike got the memo that I wanted mushrooms. And then yesterday he like texted me. He goes, hey, there's mushrooms in the kitchen. You know, I made them for you, whatever. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. We're just like on this loop that we both wanted mushrooms. But no, turns out he listened to the podcast.
See? People are listening.
I know. I literally said, I go, oh, he does love me.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah, he's like, okay, I got to get better at reading her love language, and I got to get better at dissecting the podcast and finding out her wants and needs.
Yeah, right.
So, wives out there, if you're struggling to get something across to your loved one, start a podcast, make them listen, and then maybe your relationship will get better.
Start a podcast.
Yeah. I'm not sure because I know Jay's all caught up. And so,
Beautiful.
obviously, if you all listened to last week's episode, I called him out on his honey explosion and the mopping and treating me like a child. And so he was like, that wasn't really cool of you. And I'm like, cool of me what? He goes, you called me out and told everyone who listens that I treat you like a child. And I was like, well, you do sometimes. Like, it is what it is. Then stop treating me like a child and I won't have to tell everyone that, you know? And then, what do you know? Karma got me.
Yes.
Because that same night, I'm cooking dinner and I go and accidentally break our olive oil bottle.
Oh, no.
So now olive oil's everywhere, glass is everywhere, and he comes running and he's helping me clean it up. And I was like, man, payback's a bitch. Like, 2 weeks ago, we were stuck to our floor with honey. Now we're sliding around like an ice skating rink. And he's cleaning it up, and he's cleaning it up with the paper towels. And I was like, okay, well, why don't you go get the vacuum? He's like, oh, I got it all with the paper towel. I'm like, did we? Did we get it all with the paper towel? And he's like, yeah, I did. I was like, okay, fine. So then I proceed to continue cooking, and I go into the pantry to go get something else out, and I hear crack. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh, no.
So I tapped a vinegar bottle, and it exploded. So now we're cleaning up vinegar and glass in the pantry. This is all happening within 10 minutes. And I was like, the gods above are punishing me for probably talking shit.
For making fun of his mishap with the honey.
And lo and behold, with the honey, there was no broken glass. So then yesterday, I'm in the shower. I'm like, oh, there's something in my foot. I'm like, God damn it. I have glass in my foot. Yeah, I have glass. So I'm like, Jay, I think I got glass in my foot. He goes, no, you don't. I'm like, how do you know I don't? I do. I can feel it. He's like, no, you don't. So I'm sitting on the toilet trying to like get it with the tweezer, and I can't get it because it's like that weird angle and I'm not flexible. And I was like, can you please come in here and help me get this glass out? Lo and behold, he pulls out a piece of glass. So, yeah.
Because he didn't vacuum.
He did not vacuum. And of course, it was my foot. And even the funnier part is that most of the time I do walk around in my like house sandals, and he walks around completely barefoot all the time. So what are the odds that he never steps on glass and I'm always the one stepping on glass?
Does this happen
like, it's
often?
Like punishment. Yeah. A couple times a year, I feel like I'm pulling glass out of my feet.
What?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's like a lot too many. I don't think I've ever stepped on a piece of glass. Knock on wood, obviously, but...
Well, yeah, I'm not wishing it on you.
Well, that's also like reason number 1089 that I don't cook. That's just... Like, I'm just on easy street over here.
No, and it's so weird because I'm trying to replace all my plastics and rubbers because of all the chemicals and toxins. So I'm trying to move to glass.
Sure.
But then that is the hazard of using just glass is because it breaks so easily.
I know. You can't be clumsy.
Oh, I'm screwed.
I'll start cooking and then I'll like have some fun tales to tell you back so you're not alone.
Hopefully it's not, oh, I started my kitchen on fire.
Yeah, no. Well, I hope not. Mike will be like, please stop.
Yeah, like I don't care anymore. Just order out, please. It's cheaper than buying a new house.
Yeah, exactly. Redecorating the whole kitchen.
What are you doing for Thanksgiving? I know you're not hosting because you can only make brie, croissant, and cranberries.
Oh, yes. I know. I guess I need to start prepping for that little appetizer.
Did you go to Costco and see if you can find it in the freezer section?
No, I did not.
Okay. If I make it to Costco this week, I'll let you know if I find it. I sent her a video the other day that she didn't even have to make her appetizer because they now sell something similar in the freezer section at Costco.
I love that for me. For every person that brings the brie and cranberry croissant dish as an appetizer, it's delicious. I love it. I always want it. But yeah, now you just made our lives way easier.
I love cheese, but I hate brie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, with cranberry, it's delicious.
I probably would eat it. It's not like it's disgusting,
Well, it's a
but
little
it's just
heated
my
up.
least favorite cheese.
My least favorite. Oh, I have way more least favorites than brie. Like the ones that taste like.
Well, I know you probably don't like
feet.
the blue cheese and the gorgonzola. Like,
Yeah.
no, those are like my favorite.
Well, actually, now that I'm getting older, my taste buds are changing.
Ooh.
I'm more of an adult now and not as picky about my food. So I enjoy blue cheese and gorgonzola. Yeah.
I feel like it's situational because it has to be with something that complements it. The gorgonzola dressing from Lou Malnati's is the bomb. If you ever go to Lou Malnati's and you get their wings are amazing too. But their wings, and then the gorgonzola on top of like dipping your wings in it. When you get to the crust of the Lou Malnati's and you dip it in the gorgonzola, so good.
Oh wow, the Lou salad is amazing.
Oh, the Lou salad's so good.
But that's not that dressing, is it?
No, that's like a vinaigrette or something.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
So good.
Wow. But yeah. So if your taste buds are changing, give it a try.
Oh, I should. Yeah. Well, on Thanksgiving, we have my mother-in-law's birthday is the day before Thanksgiving, so we get to do 2 nice family days. And I'm really excited about it. The kids are going to be off school, and then my husband is off work. So it just lined up with Thanksgiving this year, which is amazing because normally it does not.
So does that mean he's working Christmas?
I think that he might be off.
Oh.
I think this was like our lucky year when his rotation just landed on it.
Nice.
So, yeah. Which is really nice because when Santa Claus comes, it's just like nice when we're all awake and get to not make the kids wait. And all that.
Daddy's sleeping. Don't wake him up. He had a rough night.
I know. But he's the best because he'll wake up anyways. Like he always does. So that's really nice.
So then who cooks for your mother-in-law's? Does she cook on her birthday?
Mm-hmm. Oh. I mean, I haven't asked her, but I just assume she's just going to do however she wants. I mean, I'm happy ordering out. But I think everyone knows by now that I'm not about to be like, would you like me to cook for you? Would you like me to host?
She's probably like, thank you, Patty, but no, I don't want to get sick on my birthday.
Yeah. I'm just here for the laughs, okay? I'm just here to take care of the kids, keep them alive, cute kids, whatever. Oh, I forgot.
Wow, have Black Wednesdays changed? Oh, let there be light.
Oh, what? Pause. There we go. Much better.
I can't see you because you're blurry on my screen.
Well, I looked at it on my screen. Okay.
So do you remember the days? Like, I mean, Black Wednesday, like the night before Thanksgiving, like the biggest party night. I mean, I usually was always working because I was in the bar industry. Mm-hmm. And the few times I did go out, I was like, this sucks because there's so many people. Everyone jacks up their prices.
Amateur hour.
Yeah. But on Black Wednesday, we usually end up going out for a little bit because I food prep all day. And the last thing I want to do is like make food for dinner. So we usually go out. Like, I feel like, tell me you're old without telling me you're old because we're sitting at the bar at like 5:00 eating food before the rush comes.
Oh yeah, you're like home well before it's Blackout Wednesday. Yeah. No, we would work it a lot. I remember. I don't think I did that in college. I think because I would come home for the Thanksgiving break, so I was home, and then probably like.
Oh, you didn't like go out with. We tested a few fake IDs in the area on Black Wednesday when I was in college before I turned 21.
No. Well, I would come home from Florida, I remember, and I would just be here.
Oh.
Over at First Place.
You were a good child.
Well, I mean, I would be out at the bar with my fake ID, but I wouldn't say I was like home reading a book on Blackout Wednesday. I feel like I coined the phrase.
All right, we'll see next week if we relive that name.
Blackout. I know I won't. No, I won't because we don't have a babysitter. Or do we just put the kids to bed and just start ripping shots at home?
Yeah.
That's always fun.
Have a little game. I played Never Have I Ever with Mike in the kitchen.
I don't think Never Have I Ever would end well.
But sometimes when you play it when you're drinking, at least like you're like, okay, if they're really drunk, they're probably not going to remember like what I even asked and what I drank to. You'd be like, no, you didn't see that. I was just thirsty. I drank.
Maybe what we should do. Okay, this is like where my head goes. When I'm drinking, I want to do TikToks. I want to be like, Mike, let's do like a TikTok dance. There's got to be some funny trending turkey dance.
Gobble, gobble. Just walking around the kitchen, flopping your arms doing the chicken dance.
Yeah. We'll see. If I do it, I'll send it to you.
That will make my Thanksgiving.
I'll tell Mike. Oh my God. The joys of having to tape when the kids are home.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think he just wants to be a part of it, us so bad, or part of it, even though when you give him a chance to talk, he just wants to slam down the computer.
I know. And just like type on all the keys. Excuse me.
I think that's a kid thing, though. That's what Beckham does. When he comes to my house, when you can't find him, he's up in my office. And he's like, I'm doing work. So he'll either be typing on my computer or he has the calculator, which he like punches into. He's like, all right, I'm doing my work. I'm like, okay.
Little does he know, it's like my boys, they turned, like all the cousins turned the playroom or this room at my mom's house into like their office. It's like, what do they call it? Like the cousins hideaway or something, the cousins office, whatever they call it. They have signs all over that says like no parents allowed, whatever. And they go in there and they'll draw and color and all this stuff. And I'm just like, they literally just sit with like Post-its and staplers and all the office supplies. And I'm like, do you guys realize like how boring adulting is? But there they are. They're like, we're going to be in our office. I'm like, you do it.
Right. It's so
enjoy it now.
Think back too. We were like that too. We'd play school or hairdresser or, a house. And like now you have to take care of a real house and you're like, F that. Now I have to go to work every day and earn a paycheck to buy food, to cook, to, it's just the thought process. My dad had always said, he's like, Danielle, you don't rush it. When you're 18, you want to be 21. When you're 21, you want to be 25. And then all of a sudden it just passes you by. And I'm like, I know. And it can tell you that till you're blue in the face and you still won't understand it. Because now I'm practicing what we preach and telling the younger generations, like, you don't want to get a job. You want to be in school. Like, these are the things, these are the moments. It happens so fast, but they don't listen to you either.
No, I mean, you do need to just learn it for yourself. And I think it wouldn't hit as hard if you didn't take certain things for granted when you were younger, because then, and sometimes people learn it really quick, or sometimes people don't learn it until they're in their late 30s, mid 30s, 40s, whatever. And then they realize like, wow, it passed by. And then you start to live in the moment and you live with a little bit more gratitude for the everyday moments.
But do you think that stopped? So what was the age you stopped wanting to be older? And then when you got to that age, then was it just, okay, now that I'm at this age, I want to get married and I want to have kids? You didn't really live in between that thought.
I want to be like, my first thought is, when I was in high school, I lost both my grandparents. And quickly I was like, okay, life is really short. Started living more in the moment. But even then, like when I met Mike, I was like, let's go to the altar. Like I want to be married. Like I wanted that next step. And I think so I guess until I had my kids, and now I'm like, I don't want the next step. I want to pause time. And so I don't know if that was me realizing that maybe I rushed things. I didn't take time with just Mike and I for a couple of years, being just that single married couple, being able to travel and do all that stuff. It was like we went right into having kids after dating for a couple of years and then being engaged. And then, so maybe it's because I felt there was things maybe he and I had missed out on as just that single couple. Or is it because we have children in our face now and we see how quickly they're growing?
Yeah.
Because every single month of the first year of their lives, they're changing drastically and you can't slow it down. And it's trying every month is so hard with a newborn, but it happens so quick. And then even now, it's like my kids are getting so big. So am I constantly seeing it? And then that's what's helping me like realize that, wow, it's flying.
Yeah, I think that probably helps put in perspective because I see that all the time. Time needs to, I see that with not even having children, just my,
being around them.
Holy crap, they grew up so fast. Like in a blink of an eye, like Leah's 10 and I feel like she was just born yesterday. Like I remember when she was born 10 years, I was in my 30s. Holy crap,
I know?
So perspective, but yeah, I guess you can't go back in time and you can't focus on the past because there's nothing you can do about it, right? But man, I really maybe wish I did slow down a little bit more and really enjoyed it because, like I said, in a blink of an eye, I'm in my 40s.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. So this Thanksgiving week, when you are around your family or your friends or whatever you're doing, or maybe you're just working all week and you're just like, this isn't my year to be able to slow down enough to spend and enjoy with family and whatnot. But maybe we could all try a little bit more to just appreciate it for whatever it is. Appreciate the people that show up. Don't worry about the people that aren't. Appreciate what you have now without thinking about what used to be or what you want. I feel like there's probably a lot of people, holidays are so hard, like when you've lost somebody, or maybe parents that want those kids that they haven't been blessed with children yet, or, there's not a table or a room full of people that you care about and love, whatever it is. There's still certain things to be grateful for. And if you can hammer in on those and focus on the good stuff, it will allow you to just overall appreciate it more and not be so focused on the few things that you don't have, because there is something good and we're alive. So that's good,
Yeah. And that's beautiful, especially, and not saying coming from you, but obviously this is going to be your first big holiday without your dad.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure it's going to hit differently.
Mm-hmm.
So I really hope you find all the blessings this Thanksgiving with
Thanks.
your family and all your loved ones.
Yeah.
I'm a pro at it. It's been years since my dad's been gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel him in the room,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm grateful and thankful. And I just got to think about, again, just all the time you did have and all the memories I made with him.
Right.
That just makes all the difference when you're focusing again on the positive, not the negative.
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking today, how do I, being the first holiday without my dad, all of us are dealing with it in different ways and all that. And I have 3 kids. So I'm like, how do I make it special for them still? How do I still let them know what the holidays are about? I could read the books. There's so many like cute little kids books out. There's cute movies about the holidays, not Thanksgiving, but just the holiday season in general. There's all these things, the quotes, the lessons that I could try to instill. But what I keep coming back to is I'm just going to live it. I'm just going to live exactly as I want them to enjoy and live. So I'm going to try to really take note of that no November so that I have enough energy, so that I'm not exhausted and I'm not crabby and I'm not at my wit's end, and that I can really be mindful. I'm just going to try to live in the way that I want my children to one day. I want to care about others, to hold myself to a certain standard, to live in the moment, to be happy, to just focus on the things I have.
Right. Be present. And I think a lot of people, and again, I'm not a mom, but I don't think some people realize the effect your actions have on your children, because you're like, oh, they're so young. They're wrapped up in their own things. They're busy on their YouTube and in video games. They're not paying attention to how I'm acting or reacting. But they are paying attention. So watching how you're dealing with your grief and with your holiday and dealing all that sets a tone for them, and how that they should, learn how to be brave or how to incorporate their morals and values as they get older.
Absolutely. They say it all the time. Kids are sponges. So even the things I don't think that they're listening to or kind of taking, from me, one day they're going to be saying, well, I got this from my mom, or this is why I do this, or this is my coping mechanism because that's what I learned growing up, or that's what I saw. That's all I knew. So it's a great responsibility to have, but it's super cool.
So don't fuck it up.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
You only get one try. Well, you got 3 tries because you have 3 children, but.
Oh my God. But it's going to be a struggle. I hope I don't screw them up too much, but I think step 1 is saying to yourself, how do I make this special for them? Like, our family is hurting. We've just lost somebody big to us. How do I still live it out and remind, maybe not even just them, maybe I remind myself too, that there's still beauty even in the midst of tragedy and darkness. There's still light, and find it. Look for it.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing with loss is sometimes we focus on the loss and we forget about the people that are around us that are actually present. And so now you're missing out on the memories and the experiences with the people around you because you're so focused on that one person or 2 people that are missing. So I think it goes a long way with, again, just being present in the moment and being present with the people that have showed up and that are around you.
I think that we have a lot to be thankful for. And this is the first holiday season with us with our podcast. So I'm so excited that there's people that are listening with us, laughing with us, that connect with us. Truly just knowing that we're not alone in a lot of our thoughts, whether it be crazy, silly, whatever, all over the board. It's just been really an amazing experience. So we're thankful for you listening.
Yes. Thank you guys for tuning in every Monday. Thanks for shooting us text messages and relating to the conversation that we had. It really means the world, and we're hoping to continue this on. We got some surprises and some ideas for season 2 and Christmas.
Enjoy Thanksgiving with your families
Yeah.
and friends, and enjoy the food. Enjoy making the food if you enjoy that sort of thing.
Yeah, don't count the calories.
Slap the, what's it, smack, what is it? You're brining, and then what do you do?
Spatchcock.
Spatch.
You're brining, spatchcock. Oh, smoking the turkey.
He's got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth, sunglasses on. Just what's the turkey doing? Smoking.
Are you
Out back.
picturing Joey with the turkey on with friends?
Yes. Listen, if your Thanksgiving goes off the rails and everyone's talking politics or people are fighting or whatever it is, when all else fails, throw the turkey on your head, okay? We've got the best tip and trick for you.
Walk around, do a little shimmy.
I mean, nothing's better than that episode of Friends.
It is. Try to make light. If you don't have that person in the family that kind of cuts through the tension with some awkward sarcasm, be that person. Be that person for your family.
Just be the person that can make everyone laugh, okay? If that's your duty, go ahead.
Yeah, do your due diligence beforehand. Start, Googling some jokes, some one-liners, some punchlines. But I do have a challenge for everyone. So after you listen to this, you have a couple days before Thanksgiving. Find 5 people. Think about 5 people in your life that maybe you've lost contact with or haven't really talked to as much, and reach out to them. Let them know you're thinking of them. Remind them of one of the things that you love about them. You miss their laugh, you miss their smile, because not everybody is surrounded by a bunch of love on holidays. And sometimes some people just need a little extra love this time of year, or they're suffering a loss of a family member and they just need a little extra positivity to get through it. So be that person, be that light.
Oh, I love that challenge.
Yeah. So
challenge accepted.
Yeah, I got to work on my list.
So if you get a random text from Danielle, you're like, I know what you're doing here. You're trying to reach out, you're trying to reconnect, and it's working.
Yeah. And if you don't respond, I won't cry, I promise.
No.
Patty might.
I know, I will.
If you get a text from Patty, drop what you're doing and please respond ASAP.
I'll be sitting there like, wait, do they hate me? What's happening?
And if you're one of those people, do you have your read receipt on?
Ooh.
Do you have that on? I don't think you do.
I don't think I do.
No, but it's even worse when you see that people read it and then they don't respond. That pisses me off. That does. And then take your read receipt off.
I know, that's why I do, because I'm bad at it. If I'm in the middle of something, I'm like, oh, I saw it. Gonna respond later, and then I usually don't. Everyone knows how that goes.
Yeah.
I know I'm not alone in that.
No. And it happens. We get busy, but that's why just take the read receipt off so that we never know when you saw it.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, happy Thanksgiving. I hope nobody gets glass in their foot cooking. But if you do, tag us. Let us know what's going on. The good, the bad, and the ugly of Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Make a video cooking. Tag Patty in it.
Show her how to do it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Oh, gobble, gobble. We're going to keep being us, so you can keep being you. Bye.